The global economy is always changing, with some countries growing faster than others. While big economies often get the most attention, there are many smaller or emerging countries that are growing quickly and creating new opportunities for businesses. In these fast-growing countries, things like a rising population, more people moving to cities, and new technologies are helping the economy grow. As more people join the middle class, they have more money to spend, creating new markets for products and services. This is attracting businesses to invest and expand into these countries. These growing nations are also becoming more important in global trade. They provide valuable resources, labor, and goods that are needed by other countries. As they improve their industries and create better business environments, they are attracting more investment and making new trade deals. Because of this, companies are starting to look beyond the biggest economies and are exploring new markets in these fast-growing countries. This shift is changing the way global trade works and creating new business opportunities all around the world. In short, while the major economies are still important, the rise of these rapidly growing countries is changing the global economy and opening up new possibilities. So let us now know which are those countries whose economy is growing very fast. So our first country is India. India has long been seen as a country with potential, but in recent years, it's become a major economic force. With a population of over 1.4 billion people, India is not only one of the largest countries in the world but also one of the youngest. This youthful population is a huge asset, as millions of young people enter the workforce every year, helping to fuel rapid growth across various sectors. The rise of the tech industry is a standout example. Cities like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Pune are now known as tech hubs, home to a growing number of startups and global tech giants like Infosys and Wipro. India's economy is also benefiting from its shift toward digital services, online retail, and financial technology, fintech. Furthermore, with initiatives like Make in India, the government is encouraging more manufacturing within the country, making it an attractive destination for foreign investment. However, India faces challenges such as poverty, income inequality, and regional disparities. Infrastructure improvements, though underway, are still catching up to the needs of its growing economy. Despite these hurdles, India's long-term growth potential remains immense, and it is expected to continue being a key driver of global economic change. So let's move on to our next country, which is China. China has already established itself as an economic powerhouse, and while its growth may have slowed slightly in recent years, it is still one of the fastest-growing major economies in the world. With a population of over 1.4 billion, China has transformed from an agrarian society into a global manufacturing and export leader. Its factories produce everything from electronics to textiles, and it has become a vital player in the global supply chain. In recent years, China has shifted its focus from low-cost manufacturing to high-tech industries like artificial intelligence, 5G, and clean energy. Companies like Alibaba, Huawei, and Tencent are at the forefront of this new phase of growth, not just dominating China but becoming global competitors. With a growing middle class and a consumer market that's expected to reach over 1 billion people, China's domestic consumption is also playing a larger role in its economy. Additionally, China's Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), a massive infrastructure and investment project spanning Asia, Africa, and Europe, is helping it expand its economic influence globally. However, China faces challenges like an aging population, environmental concerns, and rising debt. Still, its enormous size, technological advancements, and global ambitions ensure it will remain one of the world's most important economies. Now our third country is Vietnam. Vietnam is emerging as one of the fastest-growing economies in Asia, and it's quickly gaining a reputation as the new China. Over the past few decades, Vietnam has made the transition from a primarily agricultural economy to a booming industrial hub. It has become an attractive location for foreign investment, especially in manufacturing, textiles, electronics, and footwear. What makes Vietnam particularly appealing to global companies is its young, increasingly skilled labor force, lower wages compared to China, and strategic location in Southeast Asia. Global giants like Samsung, Intel, and Nike have set up production facilities in Vietnam, taking advantage of its competitive costs and favorable business climate. In recent years, trade agreements like the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership and the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement have opened new markets for Vietnamese goods, further boosting its exports. The Vietnamese government is also focusing heavily on improving infrastructure, including building new highways, airports, and energy facilities to support the growing economy. However, challenges remain, including environmental concerns, the need for more skilled workers, and reliance on a few key industries. Despite these obstacles, Vietnam's growth trajectory is impressive, and it's set to become an increasingly important player in global trade. So our next country is Ethiopia. Ethiopia, often overlooked in the global economic conversation, is one of Africa's fastest-growing economies. For the past decade, the country has been experiencing rapid growth, with its economy expanding by more than 10% annually. While it is still one of the poorest countries in the world, Ethiopia's rapid economic development is proof of its potential. Agriculture remains the backbone of Ethiopia's economy, but the country is diversifying into manufacturing and services. The government has invested heavily in infrastructure, including roads, energy, and telecommunications, to lay the groundwork for long-term growth. The construction of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is expected to provide a significant boost to energy production, helping to power the country's industries. Foreign direct investment is on the rise, particularly from China and other countries seeking low-cost manufacturing opportunities. Ethiopia's textile and apparel industries, in particular, have attracted foreign interest. However, the country still faces challenges like political instability, ethnic tensions, and a lack of skilled labor. Despite these challenges, Ethiopia's economic rise is one of the most exciting stories in Africa, and it is becoming a key player in the region. So let's move on to our last country, which is Bangladesh. Bangladesh is another country that has surprised many with its rapid economic growth. Over the past few years, Bangladesh has become one of the fastest-growing economies in Asia, thanks to a combination of factors including a thriving garment industry, strong remittance flows, and increasing foreign investment. The garment industry, which accounts for more than 80% of the country's exports, has been the driving force behind Bangladesh's economic expansion. It is the second-largest exporter of garments globally, after China, and has provided millions of jobs, particularly for women. The country's relatively low wages, combined with its established textile infrastructure, make it an attractive location for global brands. In addition to textiles, Bangladesh has also seen growth in agriculture, particularly in rice and jute, and in services like telecommunications and finance. The flow of remittances from Bangladesh's large diaspora is another key factor, contributing significantly to domestic consumption and investment. In recent years, Bangladesh experienced rapid economic growth, which brought attention to the country's progress. However, a significant political change occurred when Sheikh Hasina, the prime minister, was removed from office. The main reason behind this change is the growing dissatisfaction among the people of Bangladesh. Many citizens have been unhappy with her leadership, feeling that their needs and concerns were not being addressed. This discontent led to protests and calls for a change in leadership. As a result, public pressure played a key role in her removal from the post of prime minister. So this was today's video. If you have something to say, then do say it in the comments, and if you liked this video, then subscribe to the channel. I will keep bringing such videos in future also.